If you clicked on this video, you're probably looking for a haircutting system that will allow you to do a skin fade without the stress, with no questions asked, knowing exactly what system you're going to use. And I'm going to be bringing that to you today using the Tomb 45 clipper and trimmer set. More on that in a little bit. So this haircutting system, guys, is universal. I use this on straight hair, on curly hair. I use it for high fades, low fades, and tapers. But first things first, you got to cut the top. And my client likes using the number 4 guard. He likes how that lets his hair lay. So we are going to be going against the grain. First things first with this kind of haircut is if they want a nice even cut on top, you have to make sure that you cut against the grain. So what does this mean? That means that if you notice that the hair is growing forward, you're gonna have to cut it backwards. If the hair, and look at his front hairline, you see all those cowlicks. If the hair is growing to the left, you gotta cut it to the right, and vice versa. So whatever direction the hair is shooting out of the root, you need to go in the direct opposite of that. If you don't pay attention to how the hair growth patterns are, then you're going to end up with a very uneven haircut, and that's not going to make anybody happy, right? So go ahead and start with a nice against the grain cut, and then we're going to jump straight into the fading system. Like I said, man, I used to change my hair cutting system depending on if it was wavy hair, curly hair, or different types of fades. But applying this system to every single haircut really has reduced stress in my life as a barber, as a hair cutter, and I want to help you accomplish the same. So let's lock right in and get into this fading system. Starting with the clipper all the way closed with no guard is what makes this haircutting system unique. A lot of YouTubers are going to tell you go in with the trimmers to create a very precise, very sharp bald line, but the truth is that the harder you punch that line in, the harder it is to fade out. So I highly recommend, based on my experience, starting with the clipper all the way closed. And that's how you set your primary guideline in. Now we're going to start working on the secondary guideline with the half guard with the lever closed. Okay, a lot of YouTubers are also going to tell you you need to do the secondary guideline with no guard, lever all the way open. You're going to see what I mean as we come towards the end of this tutorial, but it is so much easier to fade from plastic to plastic than it is to fade from plastic to metal. You'll see what I'm talking about here shortly. Now, with the 1.5 guard, with the lever all the way open, you can see the motion that I'm doing this clipper in. I want pressure at the bottom, and I'm going to float my way up and off the head. This is going to take care of bulk removal. This is going to help start to establish the shape of the blend. And after you go ahead and take care of all this with the lever open, close the lever and just work a little bit lower than what you were previously. Okay, so the thing is, guys, using this 1.5 guard, I like to start with the 1.5 for the removal of the bulk area, because when it's open, it leaves it dark enough that it has some transition, but when it's closed, it starts to lighten up the area so you can start to control the shape of the blend. Now look at how easy this next step is going to be, guys. The half guard with the lever all the way open. Remember how we started with the half guard closed for your secondary line? Well, now we can return to that same guard with the lever all the way open, and we can float our way up into that 1.5 guard closed that we use. Okay, I know that moved pretty quick, but while we're blending this out, let's go ahead and think through this. The 1.5 open was able to float up into the darkness of the 4 guard. Now, if you're not comfortable skipping guards, you 100% can use your 4 open, your 4 closed, your 3 open, your 3 closed, your 2 open, your 2 closed, and then go to the 1.5. But for the sake of efficiency, I want to teach you guys how to skip guards and how easy it can be. So that's why I jumped straight into the 1.5 guard. And honestly, if you control your hand motion, you keep your wrist tight, and you just kind of work with your elbow, it really does make it so much easier to float through these different lengths. Cool, so that's the 1.5 open. Then you got that 1.5 close and just lighten it up a little bit. Why is it that we can skip from this half guard open straight to the 1.5? Well, think about it, guys. If the 1.5 guard all the way closed is equivalent to what? That's equivalent to the one guard open, right? And the half guard is when it's all the way open, is also equivalent to the one guard when it's all the way closed. So really all you're missing is like the one guard with the lever about halfway. I really feel like with the right hand motions, and notice the way that I'm holding this clipper, I really elevate it up, and I use a very soft touch while I'm blending. It more than covers the length that you would have had if you're just, you know, using your one guard. So it's more efficient to cut this way. Please leave a comment down below if you've ever felt nervous about skipping guards for the sake of efficiency, but also leave a comment down below if you feel like watching this happen with this explanation makes it a little bit easier, makes it a little less anxiety inducing. So now that you've already worked your way through this fading system and you set a strong foundation, we're gonna do some lever play. You see me opening one notch at a time, right? So remember that very primary guideline that we put in. We put the clipper all the way closed, right? So now we can return to that clipper all the way closed, and let's break through that line a little bit. Once we've softened up the line just a tiny bit, now we can open up the lever one notch. And this is where, in a past time, I used to get so anxious about, man, I put all this work in and now I'm gonna mess up the fade. But the truth is, guys, the more you open the lever, the longer it leaves the hair, which should give you full confidence in raising it up a little bit. I was afraid before that I was gonna turn my mid fade to a high fade and my low fade to a mid. But here's the thing though, guys, like, push the line up a little bit and then you can open up the lever a little bit more. That means it's gonna go a little longer and you can cut a little higher. So again, you push the line up a little bit, now we'll go a little longer, we'll go a little higher, go a little longer, go a little higher. And eventually, once you have the lever all the way open, it should blend perfectly into the half guard, which is that secondary guideline that we set in. And you can see here, it's already starting to come together. When you have it all the way open, you can start to lighten up your pressure a little more. You can go in with the corner of your blade. But you're gonna do this over and over again, guys. You know, just have confidence in the system that you're using and understand why you're doing what you are. And I mean, that alone, you know, reduces the anxiety in cutting hair, man. Because, like, I don't know, I used to just follow YouTube tutorials, but I never understood why I was doing what I was. So hopefully this helps you guys, and we're gonna repeat this process for the back, and we're gonna repeat it for the side. Something that I like about this clipper a lot, guys, is that, and the reason why I recommend it so much is, you know, there's a lot of clippers in this price range that you really need to have more than one of them. Because I don't know about you guys, but for me, I like to cut with one clipper, one trimmer, one shaver all day, every day. But it's really hard to do that with a lot of machines because they get so hot. Especially when you're a young barber, like young in the industry, and you know, you're working through these haircuts. By the time that you finish a blend on one side of the head, the blade's already so hot and it makes your skin red, you know, the more that you're rubbing this hot metal on somebody's skin. So that's one of the value points for this clipper. And I'm always gonna have the Amazon links in the description down below. I'll have the YouTube shopping links tagged in this video as well, depending on however you like to shop. But if you're in the market for a new clipper, man, this is one I would recommend looking into. It's quiet, the ergonomics are there, the blade is impossible to get hot. I have tried, I mean, literally, I'll use the same machine all day, every day, and back-to-back haircuts, 15, 16 haircuts, by the end of the day, the blade feels the same as it was in the beginning of the day. So that's a big value point for me. Not only that, but you also have the charging capabilities, right? You buy this clipper from the links that I have below, you know, a reputable source. They're supposed to give you the wireless charging pad included. So every machine that I use has a resting place when it's not in use. So I pick up the clipper, boom, 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 do what I gotta do, lay it down on the wireless charging pad. Then I'll grab the next one, the trimmer, right? Start lining them up. When I'm done, lay it down on the wireless charging pad so I never run out of battery. You know, so it's pretty cool, man. It's a really good system. I'm super proud of what Tomb 45 has been able to do. The machine has almost been out for a year already. You know, this is, I want to say February. February was when it released, so it's coming up on the 1 year anniversary. So it's been cool, man. I really like that. Like I said, I wouldn't push anything on you guys if you don't need it. So, you know, this is only if you are in the market already for a machine. I would recommend giving it a shot. Leave your feedback down below. But yeah, man, those Amazon links are there in the description. So look, this is what I was talking about. Now you got the trimmer. We can go ahead and take this trimmer and we're gonna go ahead and get into the lineup. You know, he doesn't have he doesn't need too much work on his lineup, right? But sometimes simple tweaks can make a huge difference. So I like to start in the middle and work my way to one side, and then I return to the middle, and then I'll work my way to the other side. Back in the day, I used to start lineups like all the way in the one corner and work my way all the way across to the other corner, and then I would wonder why lines would come out crooked. But you know, if you take a lineup, which is one big difficult job, right, break it up into two smaller jobs. Start from the middle and work your way to the other side. That way then you can return to the middle, see how the one side is looking, and all right, cool, now I just got to match that. And then you can tweak left, you can tweak right if you need to. But generally speaking, you should be able to knock out a lineup in one shot if you start in the middle and break it up into two smaller jobs. Now, this is one of the most satisfying parts of the haircut, guys. You remember how we started the fade with the clipper all the way closed. What is the next level lower than clipper all the way closed? Now we can go trimmer tight. And hopefully now you can also see, and maybe it makes sense to you, why I leave the bulk for the very end of the haircut. In my opinion, now let me know your opinion as well in the comments down below, but for me, I like to just focus on the little band of the little like kind of the headband area, right? I like to focus on that blend 100%, and once the blend is done to my liking, then I'll go ahead and remove the bulk at the very bottom. Because I don't know, maybe I get distracted easy, ADHD, who knows. But if I would have removed all that bulk at first, my eyes would have been concentrated on the whole side of his head from top to bottom. But if I can just focus 100% of my efforts on the headband area of that blend, then, you know, that just makes it easier for me. Right, so I'll go ahead and pick up just below there with the trimmer, and I could float my way up to and through that initial line that we created with the clipper. So if your client is going to be just doing, you know, a trimmer tight cut, then you can leave it right here. But I'm going to be following up with the foil shaver. My client likes it nice and skin tight, and I'm going to show you my secret method on how I avoid creating any extra lines. Like I said, guys, everything that I teach you guys here is, I found out this stuff that slowed me down as a barber when I was a young barber, when I was a new barber. I want to help you push past those mistakes and just get right to the bag. So, you know, like I said, stay tuned here, and we're going to pull out the shaver right now. So the best advice I can give you when it comes to this foil shaver, which the FX3 is phenomenal, man, by the way. It's a really dope machine, and there's nothing like a fresh foil. I don't know about you guys. I used to not change my foils but every couple months. I change them dang near every week now, ever since I kind of got in the habit of using new ones. I don't know. Let me know if that's excessive in the comments. But look at this technique. I'm going down, down, down with the grain first. This helps me really blend together anything that may not have been picked up before. You know, and then after you go downwards with the grain, softening up that blend, now you can safely go up against the grain underneath that. But I feel like going down with the grain, it helps blend all the micro differences between the clipper closed and the trimmer lengths. So let me know if you've ever tried this before, and let me know in the comments down below if this is something you're excited to try. But I genuinely believe that going down with the grain first on the foil shaver can help you achieve the next level blend that you may not be able to get using just your clipper and your trimmer. You know, go down with the grain, and then after that, follow up against the grain. That was a game changer for me. I absolutely love what that did to my haircuts. Because I also remember, very similar to how I was afraid of, you know, pushing the fade too high. The same thing would happen with this foil shaver. I would go in and start balding out, and then all of a sudden there's a patch of bald that's way too heavy in the middle of the blend. I'm like, man, like I ruined the job that I was doing. Now again, here we go. The fade has to go higher. Doing these methods I teach you guys saves you from all of those. Like I said, I just want to teach you these lessons before you make them and help you skip past that. So leave a comment down below if you find value in this information that we're getting so far, man. And especially if you've stayed up until this point of the video, leave a comment down below saying you're still here, because you are truly committed to your craft. You're going to see the highest level of success because of your commitment, man. Like, I'm proud of you guys. Keep going. And by the way, if you not only want to learn how to cut hair with me, but you also want to learn how to scale your barbershop business to and through six figures, I'm talking to make 100, 150, 200. Let me know, man, because I'm a coach in the six-figure barber mentorship. I'd love to help you guys, and I host the call every other Wednesday night, man. So I hope to see you there, guys. 2026 is the year you're gonna make six figures and beyond. Check it out. It's in the description down below. I'll see you guys there.